I have lost a lot of money. Why? Alright, a year ago I invested more than $58,000 into various stock markets around the world, and I did it during the most uncertain time. I invested this money during the pandemic and the start of the Ukrainian war. Since then, the situation has gone from bad to worse because the effects of inflation being felt around the world is just another thing to add to the list of growing problems. But this video series is kind of like an experiment or a journey. When it comes to investing, most people say buy now and hold for the long term. And it's easy to show a long-term graph like this and talk about why it is the best option. But investing has a lot of emotions involved in it which people often don't think about or talk about. So instead of showing a graph like this, I'm gonna be fully transparent and take you with me through this journey. It's only been an year since I invested the $58,000 and that hardly counts as long term. So I left that investment untouched. However, I have sold more than $10,000 worth of investments in my Sharesies portfolio. And the reason why I did that might be different to what you think. We'll get into that later. First, let's look at the $58,000 investment. Since I already own stocks in some of the companies I bought, I made this spreadsheet so it's easy to see what has happened. The first column shows the date that I invested the money. Then we have the share price and the amount of shares that we bought, as well as their total investment amount. Then we have the ticker symbols of the company. In Hong Kong, the ticker symbols are numbers. And then we have the names of the company. Over here we have the today's date, which is the 2nd of October 2022, so it's been just over a year. Then we have the current share price, as well as how much my investment is worth today. This next two columns shows how much I have gained or lost so far. And as you can see, right now, only two companies are in the positives, and they are Tesla and Waste Management. All the other companies are losing me a lot of money. But it wasn't always like this. Like I said before, investing can be a roller coaster of emotions. So I have also made these extra columns. These columns shows the highest price the companies went up to, and it shows the best returns I could have gotten so far. But as you can see, they all went up to the highest price at different days. So it's impossible to determine whether the stock price has reached the highest point it can. For example, on the 10th of August, I bought Mainfreight at $84.41. 22 days later, it went up to $99.78. Now there was no way of knowing that this was the highest point it was going to get up to since the 10th of August. It went up by 17%, giving me a return of $709. Compared to Fisher & Paykel, it took 107 days for it to go up to the highest price since the 10th of August, and that only went up by 4.49%, giving me a return of $89. Waste Management, on the other hand, took 344 days for it to go up to the highest point since the 10th of August. I bought in at $154 a share. It went up to $175, giving me a return of 14%, which is $400. But right now it has gone down to $160.21, giving me a return of $114, which is still in the positives, but much less than a 14% return. Shall I sell this or shall I hold on to it? I am not sure. And as you can see, all the companies in the Sharesies platform are New Zealand companies, and they are in New Zealand dollars. All the companies on my hedge and stake portfolio are US companies, and these amounts are in US dollars. I have used the current conversion rate to convert them to New Zealand dollars, just so we can have some consistency. Last year I bought one company using the Tiger Brokers platform, and that's Tencent, and of course that was in the Hong Kong currency, which I used Google to find out what the current exchange rate is and use it on my spreadsheet to convert it into New Zealand dollars. By the way, if you want to find out why I picked these companies, you can watch the old videos on this playlist to figure out why, as I explained why I was buying it as I was buying it. You can watch those videos and laugh at me because after seeing this video, you know that I was going to lose a lot of money. Just to see how much money I have lost, let's calculate the total amount I have lost in New Zealand dollars. And there we go. So far, I have lost about $23,209, which is pretty sad. Almost like a part-time job here in New Zealand. And just to see how much I could have gotten if I got the timing absolutely perfect, let's go add the New Zealand dollar amounts up here. There we go. And if I got the timing absolutely perfect in all of these investments, I could have only gotten $7,105.54. But that would have been impossible. Now let's go see how my other investments are doing, because apart from Sharesies, I have not touched any of my other investments since my last video last year. So let's start off with Tiger Brokers and make our way to Sharesies. So here I am logged into my Tiger Brokers account, and as you can see, I only have 4 companies in my portfolio. Apple is up about $65, which is 4%. Tencent is down about 45% as you saw in the spreadsheet because it was a new investment I made back then. Select Limited is down about 7%, which means I have lost about 558 Hong Kong dollars. This one down here is actually given to me by Tencent in a form of dividend. I'll make a video on that later. For now, let's move on to my stake portfolio. Here I am logged into my stake portfolio, and as you can see, it's mainly red as well. My overall value is about 3,000 US dollars, and I'm down about 13%. The biggest gainer right now is Fortnite, which is a cybersecurity company, is up about 75%. The next one after that is Tesla at 64%. My worst performing stock is Beyond Meat. It's down about 89%. The next worst performing stock for me in this portfolio is Square. It's down about 58%. It's mainly red in this portfolio, just like all my other portfolio. It's not a good time to be an investor right now. Anyways, let's go have a look at my hedge portfolio. Come down, and as you can see, I'm down 2,000 US dollars. Let's come up and change it to New Zealand dollars just to keep it consistent. Come down. And as you can see, I have not touched my portfolio since my last video, and I am down about $4,000, which is 4%. I have invested a total of 95,000 New Zealand dollars. The best performing stock is Devon Energy Corporation. It is up by 369%. The second best is Chubb Corporation, and it is up by 73%. The worst performing stock is First Trust Cloud Computing ETF. It is down by 46%, followed very closely by Adobe, which is down by 43%. And if we come out and have a look at my transactions, as you can see, I have done nothing apart from collect dividends and withdraw money. So all I've been doing is collecting dividends, and more dividends. The only thing that I have done myself is withdraw money, and that's because the New Zealand dollar has been getting weaker and weaker against the US dollar. So right now, $1 US is worth about $1.70. So that's what I did. I just collected dividends and I waited until the New Zealand dollar got weaker because I had a funny feeling it would, and then I started withdrawing. And yes, I'm going to collect more dividends and withdraw that into my bank account as well. Now let's move on to my Sharesies portfolio. In Sharesies, it shows that I'm down about $54, but don't let this number fool you because it's not an accurate representation of how your current portfolio is performing. If you click on it, it shows that unrealized gains and losses is minus $3,700, and that's how much my current portfolio is down by. This $54 takes into consideration all the stocks that I have sold and also dividends that I have collected, and I have collected more than $2,000 worth of dividends. So let's come out of that, and if we come down, my best performing stock is EBOS. It's up by 67%. If we have a look at that, I put down just over $4,000 and it has given me a return of $2,715. I don't consider MHM as my best performing stock, even though it's up by $143, and that's because I only put down $10. The worst performing stock is down by 57%, and then the next one after that is Adobe again. Apart from that, the next worst stocks are Fish and Paykel and Kiwi Property Group. If you come down to see the rest of the portfolio, they are either doing okay or bad. So why have I been selling off investments in my Sharesies portfolio? Well, it has nothing to do with Sharesies as a platform, or the pandemic, or the war in Ukraine. I have been selling off companies in New Zealand because I want to reduce the amount of New Zealand companies in my portfolio, and that's because of talent. I'm speaking of talent in a human resource manner. Talent as in highly skilled, high performing and high potential employees. So why is that important to you as an investor? Well, remember, when you invest in a company, you're not exactly investing in a building or a product or a service. You're betting your money that people in that organization will continue to make the right decisions and continue to deliver great results. It doesn't matter if a company has a great product or service right now. If they hire the wrong person for whatever reason, then that person has the potential to make the wrong decisions that will cost you money as an investor of that company. It's a whole nother topic, and we don't have the time to discuss how one person could change the culture in the workforce, and even worse, if the talent acquisition team in the organization don't have the right skill to identify the right talent for the right role. It could be problematic for the whole organization, regardless of what role we are talking about. Anyways, coming back to why I sold New Zealand companies, New Zealand is losing a lot of valuable talent to other countries. And I'm not just talking about Kiwis finding wings and moving overseas to get better pay and better cost of living. I'm also talking about how great talent from other countries won't consider New Zealand because of things such as increasing cost of living. Anyways, I started selling because this issue has been going on for a while and it seems to be getting worse. And I'm not just saying other countries are problem free. Countries such as America and China also have their own problems as well. But a solution to a problem like this in New Zealand won't come quick and easy. So I'm not waiting around for that to happen. In my last Sharesies video, you saw that I had put in $45,800 $3,896. Now it is down to $35,667. I have sold and withdrawn more than $10,000 and I will continue to slowly sell more. So what have I done with that money? Well, I invested in myself and enjoyed life. Don't forget to enjoy your money. Some of you enjoy your money too much and should save more. And then there are others who save too much but should enjoy what life has to offer as well while they are still able to. Also, I want to remind everyone that this is a YouTube video, not financial advice. I'm not telling you what you should do with your money. This is just for entertainment purposes only. And I hope you have been entertained by seeing me lose thousands of dollars. I guess it's time for me to go look for a second job now. Bye.